Hello and welcome to the Daily Bible Reading Show. I'm looking at Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. Romans 13:11, which says this, "And do this, understanding the present time. The hour has come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed." So wake up, because our salvation is nearer now. Jesus is coming back. And it's an urgent call to sleepy Christians not to put off living for Jesus today. I guess I'll put it that way. By the way, I'm preparing to speak from these verses. In a couple of weeks, it's going to be at this Christian retreat. It's called, what's it called again? Awakening. Yeah, that's the theme of the camp. And it's from verse 11 again. Wake up from your slumber. So there is that urgency, but also there is that reasonableness. It's saying, this, that you need to understand the present time. The hour has come because salvation is near. And so it's appealing to Christians to what they know about the gospel. The gospel says that Jesus Christ died on the cross and he purchased for us this salvation. So we need to live it out. The gospel says that Jesus is coming back to judge the world, and so we need to live in the light of that future reality. So live it out today. Let's continue on, verse 12. The night is nearly over, the day is almost here. So again, that urgency. But also the urgency here when it talks about the day is almost here, almost always has overtones of the day of the Lord, the day of God's judgment. So Jesus is coming back, in other words. Yeah. Okay, I'll check this message later. Verse 12 again, "So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light." Verse 13, "Let us behave decently as in the daytime, not in orgies and drunkenness, not in sexual immorality and debauchery, not in dissension and jealousy." So not. What it means to put off the works of darkness, these sinful behaviors, is to recognize them. Says, not this, not that. Meaning it's almost like, a kid who's in a candy shop and he's about to pick a piece of candy. He said, "Oh, I'm going to pick that out." And then the mom goes, "Nope, not that." And it's saying that we as Christians are tempted to these things. That's the reason why I think he lists out these deeds of darkness, not orgies, not drunkenness, not sexual immorality, not quarreling, not being jealous of one another. These are things that we all know are bad, but at the same time, we're tempted to do them. In fact, maybe we do these things in our lives. And if so, it's time to stop. We cannot carry on in this kind of pattern of living. So what's the alternative? So not do this. So what should we do? Verse 14, "Rather," so the alternative, "clothe yourselves with the Lord Jesus Christ." And that's such good news, because he doesn't say rather do good things. He doesn't say don't do the bad things, do the good things. But rather he says don't do these evil, sinful behaviors which you're tempted to do, but instead put on Jesus. Put on Jesus, because he has done everything for you on the cross. And that's good news, right? I mean, it's not saying that you need to change yourselves, although there's a part of that, but rather it's saying that Jesus has done everything you need in order to change yourselves. And what you need to do is just to apply. You need to put on that salvation that Jesus has bought for you with his blood, through his death, through his resurrection. You need to apply that to your lives today. Anytime you're tempted towards these works of darkness, put on Jesus. Anytime that maybe you have committed these deeds of darkness, ask for God's forgiveness. Put on the Lord Jesus. And I think that's such good news. That's such freeing news, actually, because again, it emphasizes that salvation, forgiveness, God's favor is not anything that we could do for ourselves. It's everything that God has done for us on the cross. So that's how was that? Was that okay? That's just my first impressions of Romans chapter 13 verses 11 to 14. If I were to break it down to take 3 points. It's wake up, put off, and put on. Wake up, there's an urgency. This is not something you do in the future, something that you can live out today. Maybe something that you should be able to see even in the Christian today, that this person is living for the Lord Jesus Christ, that urgency. So wake up. But secondly, put off. There needs to be this conscious, daily putting off of our sinful nature, battling with our sin, almost putting it to death. Say, no, I'm not going to do that. But finally, number 3, coming back to the gospel again and again, daily applying Jesus' death and salvation, His forgiveness in my life today. Yeah. Hope that's helpful. This has been my first impressions of Romans 13, verses 11 to 14, which I'll be speaking at again in a couple of weeks at that camp. If you're going to be there, see you there at Awakening PKVUM. Thank you for organizing that event. It's going to be in Malacca. I've never been there for years. Looking forward to that. And pray for me, please, to complete this talk. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Take care and God bless. Bye. Shh.